My name is Daniel Dennis, and I am a business undergraduate studying marketing and advertising. In my final semester, I undertook an internship in order to prepare and improve my skills so as to make me ready for the workforce. I was accepted by MyWork Australia, a website design company, to work as a content creator, which involved Facebook, article posts, and blog posts. I was so happy to finally get accepted into an internship, as I had been applying for a couple of months to no avail. Now that I had the job, I needed to look the part. This involved going out and getting business clothes, as my wardrobe up until this generally consisted of a variety of jeans and different coloured plaid shirts. Finally, I looked the part, so it's time to head off for work. As the workplace was a 15-minute drive down the freeway, it meant I had plenty of time to listen to the radio and catch up on the news and sport results. This was handy to know, as it was a decent conversation starter when meeting new people in the kitchen. It essentially helped start building connections in the workplace, as we had something to talk about. Over my first couple of weeks starting work at this internship, I was very nervous. I was worried that my work wouldn't be as good as they expected of me and that I would not be able to gain much out of my time there. Luckily, I was supported by a great group of people who helped me as much as possible when I was unsure of a task or didn't know how to complete it. As mentioned previously, I was working as a content creator and copywriter. This role involved writing articles for websites, blog posts, and Facebook posts and calendars. The articles were written as a formal text on the website explaining what the business does and where the business is operating, whereas the blog and Facebook posts were a more laid-back text as it was used to relate with customers. This was excellent for improving my copywriting skills, as it gave me some variety in the writing styles, tone, and voice I was using when working for the companies. Another good part about this is it meant that I had to quickly become an expert in fields that I knew absolutely nothing about before the task had arrived in my inbox. This was one of the more fun parts of my internship, as I got to gain more knowledge about random areas of industry which I can then use later in my career. As I was working for a range of companies, it meant that I was learning a lot as I go. The first lesson I learnt about the workplace is that trashy magazines pay well. In an attempt to pass the time on a lunch break, it was suggested I read some of the short stories from the trashy mags, as they're usually so bad they're good. What I also discovered was that these magazines pay really well for their stories that aren't even that great to begin with. Offering over $200 per story, I realized I may have wasted my time with a university degree, as I could have just done that. The team I worked with was MyWork Digital's marketing team that was comprised of a marketing team and a social media marketing team. Sarah was my supervisor and worked in both the digital and social media marketing teams. The other members would pass their tasks for me through her, and she would help me understand tasks or show me how to do the things I didn't know how to do. I also worked with Alex, who was the digital marketing manager, and Beck and Joe, who worked in the social media marketing and digital marketing respectively. Finally, Matt was the boss and a jack of all trades, working with both the marketing and design teams. Whilst everyone was very good at their jobs, they also knew when to have fun, as shown through the office's decorations. My first thoughts about entering was that this place seems fun. The walls were covered in decals relating to computers and video games, and there was a lot of fun memorabilia scattered around the office, ranging from a SNES controller to a Tyrion Lannister and Incredible Hulk action figure doing a waltz. Being surrounded by all this pop culture, I knew I'd be able to fit in at this place. What I really enjoyed about this position was writing articles. It meant that I got to practice my long-form writing and helped me increase my word per minute. Articles were also helpful in helping me practice my serious writing style. This process decreased my research time as well, which helped me manage all the work I was doing. The thing I least liked about this role was all of the editing I had to do. As anyone who has ever written an assignment can tell you, editing is a very tedious task. It can take a lot of time and is very boring. However, this task helped me to start to understand the faults in my work, and I was spotting a lot of common mistakes throughout all of it. This meant that my copywriting skills were further improved, as I was removing aspects of it that would drag down the rest of the writing. This is my second lesson of the workplace. Be confident, not arrogant. As I was very confident in my work, I was less vigilant when it came to editing. This meant that I was very arrogant about my abilities and didn't believe I was capable of mistakes. Now that I've identified that issue, I can actively work to improve upon this so that my work is the best that it can be. As I was working with companies that ranged from plumbers to workplace evaluators, I was always doing something new every day. This means that everything I was doing was fun and fresh. I always enjoyed going to the internship, as I had a lot of fun and worked on something new every day. As I was changing topic regularly, my writing remained fresh as I was interchanging business segments. The most fun I had was with writing social media posts. As a member of Gen Y, I spend most of my days refreshing Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so learning how I could do this and get paid to do it was very exciting. I learnt a lot during this time, and the experiences proved to be invaluable and helped me gain further experience. Gaining a better understanding of social media is very important, as most of marketing and advertising is now moving into this space, and getting hands-on experience will help me to stand out from other graduates. The final lesson of the workplace is that too much coffee will ruin your work. Whilst it can be helpful to give you that pick-me-up that you need to finish the job, if you become reliant on it, your work will start to suffer if you're not drinking it constantly. I'm very thankful for everything MyWork Australia did for me during this internship, and to actually let me work with them. I learnt a lot during this time, and the team was very helpful in teaching me the things that I would need to know. So, some final advice for future interns. Be confident, have fun with what you're doing, make sure to connect with the people you work with, ask and provide LinkedIn references, and most importantly, always say yes, because you don't know what can happen.